Physical media is the best media to exist, and there's nothing that's close in comparison to it. Physical media is king. Because we live in a world that is so focused on digital, e this, e that, I feel like this just makes physical currency more and more valuable. And as time goes on, as time progresses, we're gonna see artists switch from being all about digital to selling actual real copies, real CDs, real vinyls. We already see the shift happening, but I think as time goes on, we're gonna see a major wave of artists coming back to physical copies. I also think we're gonna see a resurgence in print magazines. We're gonna see a resurgence of collectibles. We're gonna see a resurgence of anything that's tangible and that you can get your hands on, because it's necessary. Me personally, I love physical media. I prefer a real book over an ebook. I feel like it helps me even remember the book more whenever I have it in front of me. I can smell the pages, I can flip through, and I can read. And it's crazy because I feel like they have built and evolved cars so that there's no longer a CD player. Luckily, my car still has a CD player. Plug in a CD, boom, road trip. Pick new CDs throughout I'm just excited because I love physical media so much. I love vintage magazines the most. I love vintage collectibles. It's so fun. It's so sexy, and it's just the vibe. It's just the move right now. And I hope that it stays. You know, whenever I watched Solange's video that was up on her site, it told a story in no words. You know, it was this old man with his collectibles, and it's so interesting to me because I feel like it was a testimony to how previous generations expressed themselves, where everything you could hold in your hands, trinkets, things that you picked up along the journey. And I feel like it's also a testimony to how life used to be not so much centered around work. You had a job, but it was not so much centered around work. You could still go on trips. You could still walk into a random store and be able to get a collectible, get a random trinket, or be passed down a trinket from the generations before. I loved that video that she put out because it was such a testimony to what would be lost if we don't interfere and create things that are actually physical, things that you can actually touch, instead of everything being so digital. You know, analog is back, baby. It never really left. I think our attention swayed from it, and now the attention is back. And I am feeling rather ambitious about it because it just feels more valuable whenever you can hold the magazine, the book, the album, the CD. Literally, sometimes I just look through my boyfriend's album collection and just seeing the artistry that was put behind it, seeing history and the flesh. It's very humbling. It makes you feel like this place was here before me. This earth was here way before me, and different things were prioritized. Collectibles, vinyls, CDs, posters. I feel like as the world progresses into a point to where it feels as if this monster, well, I don't want to call it a monster, this evolution of technology is rendering us more and more useless. We're gonna realize, like, did we design this to help us or replace us? You know, it's like a Frankenstein case. Is the monster killing our dreams? Is the monster killing us? Is the monster killing our faith, our love? You know, and, you know, please excuse me for the doom and gloom. I don't think it's really that serious because we have enough sense and we know how to come back. But I just got done reading Brave New World, and baby, I knew it was gonna end that way. I just want to say that. I just want to put it on the record. I knew it was going to end that way. And I'm going to say that in another video too. I knew it was going to end that way. But yeah, guys, it's time to bust out the real magazines. It's time to put that CD in the CD player. I just think it was so crazy because I remember my friend, she had a CD player that had all this. She could put 3 different CDs in the CD player. This was back in 2007, I want to say. You could put all 3 of the different CDs in the CD player and switch to the one that you wanted to play. That shit was fun. The CD player had that booming bass, and we would just rock out, jamming, blasting that shit, being us. It's just, I feel like, how do I want to say this? I feel like a bit of the plot gets lost, or there's real serious repercussions for everything being so tappable, everything being so click and boom is here, because the process is even less thought about or cared for. And the process of putting a record on a record player and hearing the crackle, it's a process, and it makes you value things, and makes you love things a little more. When you can see the gloss of the magazine, when you can feel, sometimes it's newsprint, sometimes it's glossy, sometimes it's matte, but actually feeling it, flipping to the next page, hearing the sound that it makes when it flips to the next page, seeing these photos in front of you and holding them in your hands. It's a different feeling. The smell of an aged book, the smell of a new book. I'm saying things that who knows if the next generation of kids is gonna even know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that is such a crazy, scary. Is it scary? I don't know. It's just a crazy idea when you think of it, that this old world that we used to be a part of is shifting into something else. Do the kids know what an old book smells like versus a new book? The browning of pages, the ink splatter, I don't know. But it's something that I hope we continue to move into. Physical media being king, physical media making a grand return, people having magazine collections. I've seen the people already have their record collections, and it's something that I do hope that we value in the future, because it's been such a journey, such a road, seeing how everything has shifted in the past 12 years, 10 years. Everything has shifted. And I say that to say not everything has shifted in a bad way, but I do hope that as we continue to go on and move forward, I do hope that we don't forget the things that the little teeny tiny minuscule things that used to bring us love and joy, like feeling the weight of a 400-page book in your hand. And this is coming from someone who, whenever I was growing up, I had books from floor to the motherfucking ceiling of all these different books, hundreds of books that I ended up, once I got into high school, I ended up selling. And it's just, when I see that there's a disinterest, when I see that this is something that could very well be jeopardized in the future, that it could very much not be a thing in the future, that libraries are shutting down, that this, that, and the third, it makes me think, and it makes me nostalgic. And yeah, like, not everything is going to be a part of the cloud. Not everything needs to be uploaded into a cloud. Sometimes you just hold something in your hands. There's so many books that I have, ebooks. I just finished Brave New World, but I do plan on getting the physical copy of that book, because I would love to have that book. Right now I'm starting Island, and also by the same author who created Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. Yeah, guys, if you didn't know, now you're hearing it from me. Physical media is the best media to exist, and there's nothing that's close in comparison to it. Physical media is like holding a fragrance in your hand, and then as you spritz the fragrance, you get all these different notes. It's so tangible. It's using your senses. You have to be involved. It's such a sensory experience. And that is why physical media is so important, and we should value it. It adds character. It adds a little dash of life. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Actually, I'm not going to say that until the talk sponsors me. You know what I'm saying? Like, put me on the stage. But thank you for coming to my chat. And like, comment, and subscribe so we can chat more. 444 job.